The room was deathly silent, save for the sound of labored breathing. Naomi stared at the plate of food in her hands, her heart pounding with dread. She had returned to her lavish city apartment only to find her stepmother, Mama Ruth, standing nervously in the kitchen, insisting on cooking dinner. Something about the woman's eagerness felt off. Now, as she watched her stepbrother writhing on the floor, clutching his stomach in agony, Naomi's worst fears were confirmed. She knelt beside him, shouting for help as Mama Ruth trembled in the corner, her face pale with horror. "Mama, what did you put in the food?" Naomi demanded, her voice trembling. Mama Ruth fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "I didn't mean for him to eat it. It was meant for you," she cried. The revelation was like a slap. Naomi's mind raced back to her life before the city, back to the pain and suffering that had brought her to this moment. Naomi was only 10 when her father died suddenly, leaving her at the mercy of Mama Ruth and her two cruel sons, Eric and Jonah. The vibrant household she had known became a place of torment. Mama Ruth, who once pretended to care for Naomi, revealed her true nature after the funeral. "Your father spoiled you too much," Mama Ruth hissed one evening, shoving a broom into Naomi's hands. "From now on, you'll earn your keep." From that day, Naomi became a servant in her own home. She woke up before dawn to fetch water, cleaned the house, and prepared meals she was rarely allowed to eat. Eric and Jonah mocked her relentlessly, sometimes beating her when she didn't meet their demands. Yet, despite her suffering, Naomi clung to her dreams of a better future. At school, Naomi excelled, her beauty and intelligence making her a favorite among teachers. But Mama Ruth saw her success as a threat. "You think you're better than my sons?" she sneered one day, tearing up Naomi's schoolbooks. Eventually, they chased her away. One cold evening, after enduring yet another beating, Naomi packed what little she owned and left the only home she had ever known. As she wandered the dark village paths, tears streaming down her face, a kind stranger found her. "Where are you going, little one?" the man asked gently. "I have nowhere to go," Naomi whispered, her voice breaking. The stranger, Mr. Arching, took her to the city, where he and his wife welcomed her into their family. They sent her to school, where she thrived. Years passed, and Naomi graduated with top honors, eventually landing a prestigious job. Her determination and brilliance transformed her into a wealthy, respected woman. Despite her success, Naomi never forgot her past. One day, she decided to visit her village. What she found shocked her. Mama Ruth's once proud home was in ruins. Eric had been arrested for theft, and Jonah had gone mad, roaming the village in tattered clothes. Mama Ruth, frail and destitute, was barely surviving. Naomi's heart ached, but she chose compassion. She took Mama Ruth to the city, providing her with a comfortable room in her home. "You'll never suffer again," Naomi promised, ignoring the bitter memories of her childhood. Now, as the truth about the poisoned food came out, Naomi felt a mixture of anger and sorrow. She had offered Mama Ruth redemption, yet the woman had repaid her with betrayal. "Why?" Naomi asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Why would you do this to me after everything?" Mama Ruth sobbed, unable to answer. The guilt on her face was unmistakable. Naomi called for an ambulance to take her stepbrother to the hospital, then turned to Mama Ruth. "I took you in because I believed in second chances," Naomi said, her voice firm. "But you've shown me that some people never change." The next morning, Naomi packed Mama Ruth's belongings and handed her enough money to survive. "You cannot stay here," she said. "I forgive you, but you must leave. Go and find your own way." As Mama Ruth walked away, tears in her eyes, Naomi stood tall, her heart heavy yet resolute. She had broken free from her painful past, and now she was determined to build a future untainted by bitterness.